leg, and somewhere again AC Milan lost the first leg of this Champions League. In England, it was in an intense football game between Everton and Liverpool, where that game ended with 3 red cards and Slot getting his matching order. The first in England, he was sent off after the game, after the whole lot of fights in that game. After that game, they were fighting. I don't know what was the problem, but the career fought, and with Jones, both of them were sent off in that derby, and that derby ended 2-2 after Everton scored in the last minute of that game. We are going to talk about all this on this show. Good morning, guys. Welcome to Vote Sports on Vote 104.3 FM. My name is Godwin. I'm here with the 18 to talk about these Champions League games and what happened in the Premier League last night. Good morning, John. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Good morning, football maniacs. Good morning, my people. There's a quote that goes like this, saying, do not go quietly into the night. Rage, rage, rage against the dying of the light. And that was the case of Everton yesterday, clawing back a draw in that match and stopping the Anfield Reds from turning the game over.
It suits you differently.
Good morning, also. How are
Good
you?
morning. 3 red cards after the final whistle. And that's why I saw Dakori taking the second yellow card and a red card. That was what Curtis Jones. Then the other person red card. And when the coach came out to say what happened, was coming to address the issue, and we saw him and the coach was like, "What did I do?" We'll not get into that yet, but welcome to the show, guys. 2 Italian teams lost in the Champions League.
Welcome to the show, guys. Remember, guys, we are live on YouTube at Vote FM Sports. You can go there, drop your comments. I will be reading your comments live here in the studio. Okay, let's start with the Champions League before we move to the Premier League. Remember, there is Europa League playoff happening today too, so we are going to probably glance through it before the end of the show. Okay, let's start with the Champions League. And result for yesterday is Feyenoord 1, AC Milan 0. Good result for Feyenoord, so that means they are going to Milan next week, probably with a lead. They can fight for their life and qualify for the next round, but let's see if AC Milan can turn it around, because Joao Felix played the 90 minutes in that game. Okay, the other games: Monaco 0, Benfica 1, Celtic 1, Bayern Munich 2, Club Brugge 2, Atlanta 1. That's all the 4 games that happened yesterday. Okay, let's start with the AC Milan game. The AC Milan losing, it was a surprising result. I was thinking at least they should get a draw in that game, but that game ended 1-0 to Feyenoord. I think good result for them.
Surprising game, but when you talk about AC Milan, you will know that this is not something that is not characteristic with them. They actually have issues, closing out games. They have issues, letting little teams like Feyenoord and a couple of other backward teams in the Serie A get points on them and, shut them out of the game. So for this one, it was a shocker. I was expecting a straight win on this one, but unfortunately, it was not to be. If you look at the lineup for that team game yesterday, you are going to see the reasons why.
So now, so if you look at that game, they scored in the first 5 minutes, the 3rd minute of that game, and they played well, defended well, and won that game after scoring first in the 3rd minute of that game.
Throughout this Champions League, we're looking at the record of AC Milan: win 1, draw 1, give up winning positions, and I think they're like, I won't call the name now because John will get triggered. They're like the team in England that just don't see out games. But in this game, they didn't even create enough noise, let alone create enough chance. Going forward, I think they were just shooting blanks going forward. And it's a problem for me to see that you have a team that don't have creativity in midfield. And you're starting to tinker around tactics. You don't tinker around tactics when you know there's no creativity. Every player in your team is a workhorse. Even the attacking-minded players in the team, the Rafael Leaos, they are not too creative. Rafael Leao will always smile, dribble past 1 or 2 players. The dribbles are not too creative. But finishing, he get them small. But you look at the other players in the side, and you say, okay, fine, we can go into this game. I don't know why, for me, you just decide to go with the same set of midfielders.
Thank you.
At least change a little bit of them. And let them be creative. Not just being in the team and just run around. You don't always run around with the passes sideways and passes half forward and passes sideways. When you want to create chances, you want to score goals, you want to compete for big trophies, you make your passes go forward, you make your passes count going forward. And for AC Milan yesterday, they didn't have it.
For me, the most annoying thing about that game was, the key guy who came good for them in this area just the last weekend, Tammy Abraham, was not in the starting lineup. Chukwueze was not.
Chukwueze has not always been in the starting lineup. He comes in as a sub.
Yeah, but this is somebody. I keep saying as long as you are within your rights, when you are called upon, you perform,
Mm.
and you keep over indexing the average, you earn the spot to come in and start these games. And like we said for a couple of players under Ten Hag, like we also said for a couple of players under Mikel Arteta, because it was a fight for Mikel Arteta to start fielding Waneri. It was also a fight for him to start fielding Martin Skelly in that team, even when they were suffering and losing games. So at a certain point in time, you have to look at these players who come in and perform for you and say, bro, go in and start. Because keeping these guys out of the game, you are hurting yourself. Now, Santiago and Gimenez was started up front. I looked at this guy, I was like, why start this man up front when you have a Tammy Abraham that is on the bench? Let's not forget now, they moved on Morata. Not so?
No, they moved on Morata. The problem I had was only Tammy Abraham, and I was feeling like, okay, fine, Chukwueze will come in because definitely you have him and Christian.
He came in at
you have him and Christian battling for position, and Christian has been delivering. So you can't just because of just this game you bench Chukwueze. You start Chukwueze. Christian has been delivering for him as well. Christian has a couple of goals, comes in good for him.
Christian has been starting a couple of games. There's no way, no how he's 100% fit for this encounter. Give the other guys a chance. We said it in the other game when Real Madrid played, who did they play now? Leganes, where they started the young Madridistas, and we saw the performance. But in this encounter now, look at the deflating performance in front of.
It was giving the other players.
It was
giving the other players the chance that he did that got them this loss, because in that midfield he was trying to give a couple of players a chance. And those players he tried to give the chance, and the one defender he introduced to that side did not really get it right. So I just feel like it lacks creativity in midfield. It lacks creativity going forward.
Okay, that game ended 1-0 to Fedor. So Fedor is going to go to San Siro next week and try to defend this lead. Let's hope. Or let's hope anything can win. It's not a problem for me, but I want Chukwueze and his boys to move to the next round. Okay, let's move to the next game. It's Celtic 1, Bayern Munich 2, and Olise scoring the first goal and Kane scoring the second goal. Olise came in this Bayern Munich team and everybody was thinking probably he will not be starting, but
He's been fantastic.
I think what helped him too when he came in earlier in the season, Gnabry was not really match fit. And what is his name? Sane was always off. And Coleman is normal injury guy.
Normally, everybody knows.
Nobody knows when he came in newly. We felt like, okay, fine, he's going to play from the right.
He plays from everywhere.
Now, this guy we know for, I think for Crystal Palace at some point, I used to see him and Eze behind the striker.
Yes.
While some other players can play from the flank, they don't mind. But two of them controlling the midfield and going forward as creative minds in Crystal Palace. Coming into the Bayern Munich side, I see him behind Harry Kane, and I'm like, okay, fine, good. Alphonso Davies on the right. Sorry, not Alphonso Davies. The other guy, Kingsley Coman on the right. Sane on the left, or either ways, anyhow you have it, or Musiala on the left, Sane on the right. Either ways, anyhow you have it, these three players can supply Harry Kane the amount of passes he needs to score goal. Muller and all of those people can come in as well and do their magic from. Well, I saw him play from the right a couple of games. He was supplying the passes, they were getting the goals. He and Musiala coming in behind the striker to get good results. As I'm like, okay, fine, this is good. Good pairing. Fluidity is just what matters. If you can be fluid, if you can understand where this player is going to, I need to run the other direction. And it's good. It's just like playing mind games to the position. We do it in training, we can do it in the pitch.
Okay, John. Harry Kane has scored his 7th Champions League goals this season in 8 games and 29 goals in 29 appearances for Bayern Munich in all competitions.
Stellar performance.
Fantastic player. This guy needs to win a trophy. I don't care. He deserves it. Harry Kane deserves it.
There is a silverware with his name on it this season. Let's just watch it.
That's how he's supposed to be.
Godwin, you did a documentary one time ago about legends who never won a silverware. You know names or Champions League.
Who never won
the Champions League?
Yes.
You know the heavy names on that list? The Turans. The heavy names.
These guys had trophies.
They had trophies.
Godwin, calm down. And we also know that if you go forward, you will go through and you see heavy legends as well who went through the game without winning a trophy.
Tell me
if Harry Kane joined the list,
tell me one.
Name
legend. Let me one legend. Yes, let me tell one legend didn't win a trophy.
JJ. He didn't win with Bolton. He did not win with Bolton. JJ.
Was that the only place he played, man?
PSG.
Yes.
But the truth,
in Germany.
He won with Nigeria. What are you saying?
He won with Nigeria. So
He
why
won a trophy.
He won a trophy. That's
Was that cup?
Harry Kane has a medal with England.
Which one?
He came second. In the Euros, he came
Please,
second.
let's say something better. Abeg. Let's
So
just
it's
forget
a
about
medal
this
you're
stuff.
looking for. He has a second place medal.
For me, I just feel that there is a trophy on the cards for Hurricane this season. It's going to be the Bundesliga title or any other silverware, but there's a silverware on the line for him. I think one of the biggest issues is going to be, come summer and his 31 million pounds release clause is going to be activated.
Yes.
Any club can take him away from the project, this summer. So the question is not whether he's going to win silverware, is where could he most likely play football next season if any of that is triggered. But for him, I didn't see Celtic putting up anything that will stop this game from being a win.
Did you see the game yesterday?
It's basically.
Did you see the game yesterday?
Almost
The game was balanced.
Bro.
Whenever they get to the Celtic half, they are losing the ball. Whenever they come into the Celtic final third, it's certain they are losing the ball. And if they are not losing the ball, there's a Schmeichel who is there to stop anything that is coming at his goal post.
He didn't stop the 2 goals though.
And the other person at the other end did not stop the one coming. So it was like, if you look at Celtic's record, it's like, we know we're not going to score plenty goals, but you're not going to get plenty past us.
Bro, they got 2 past them, and that's all that matters on the day, man. That's all that matters.
Okay, the 2 is all that matters.
It's all that matters.
If the
and
reverse
the
leg
3
comes
points
with
is in the
1-0.
bag. It's not about the reverse leg. For now, here, right now, that's all that matters. Straight up.
Okay, that game ended 2-1. Bayern Munich has an away win in this encounter. So next week they go to Munich to finish it up. I think that Bayern Munich is going to qualify, but winning, that means they have to win, must win.
Yes.
Anyhow, they must win.
1-0 and you go to extra time.
Go to extra time.
And if you don't have the strength to run for extra time, that's a problem for you.
Okay, let's see what happens in that game. Okay, let's go to the one that is likely controversial. Is Club Brugge versus Atlanta. That game was 1-1, and the referee decided to award Club Brugge a penalty in the dying minutes of that game.
Dying members of the game.
Like it was. If I saw the penalty and I was like, how do you give this as a penalty? How does he give? And if you look at what the coach said after the game, he was furious, and everybody was furious. That his statement was that the players threw themselves to the ground and just get a penalty. That this is not the spirit of football. This result, small contact is a penalty.
Was there contact? Because that has always been the question.
No, the contact was that he raised his hand. His hand touched his face. It wasn't even an elbow. It was just raised, which normally everybody does that.
Was there contact?
There was contact,
Okay.
but it shouldn't be a penalty. But if you look at that game generally,
this is the trap I've always tried not to walk into. Because when I said this about minimal contact and players faking the touch, we debated about it and they said it was there contact, yes or no, and John said there was contact, so therefore there's a penalty. As the law reads, if there's contact, then there's penalty. But I will say it for a fact. Players will continue to ride on this. You touch him, because I've said this one, like 1,000 times, but we always come back to if there was contact, there's a penalty. It's a contact sport. If you don't want to play the contact sport, go and play table tennis. Go and play lawn tennis. Go and play handball.
Bro, you didn't write the rule. You didn't write the rule. You are not officiating the game. The laws are there for the reasons why they are there.
So if there is contact,
you didn't write the rule. So it's a contact sport, yes, but the intent was what? The intent was to stop the guy from getting the opportunity.
What's the intent of getting the ball back? Every intent to get the ball back is to get the players not to score against you.
If you cannot do that without knocking the guy over, then you have to be liable for a penalty if there's contact. Straight up. That's the law of the game.
So when there's minimal contact,
it's not about minimal contact, bro. Was there contact? Yes or no?
Okay, there was contact.
Simple.
You go do your team. We'll come back here and complain.
It's not about doing my team. The question is, was there contact? Yes or no?
I've always
I said it in that game against Madrid. You saw every small opportunity. Vini was throwing himself down like the rod of Moses in the 18-yard box and crying for penalty.
Was there contact? And they didn't give.
And
but there was contact.
was preaching to the choir, begging for a free.
But there was always contact.
There was no contact, man. There was no contact.
Okay, if you look at that game is interesting. Lookman did not play. Lookman is still nothing enough.
He's injured, and
so
the guy they brought in to replace him has not shown workings.
Onyedika played from Buji, played the 90 all the game. 90 minutes for Club Buji. I guess Man City scored a goal against Man City, which was good for me in the last game, even though they lost that game. But in this playoff game, he played in 90 minutes and they won that game 2-1. Controversial goal 90th minute goal, but it stood and referee was dishing out yellow cards after everybody was complaining. Yellow cards were flying everywhere.
You
And
complain, you
they
collect.
complain, you collect, you complain, you collect. But he still went to the VAR, checked it, and still awarded that penalty. Then Krobush winning that game in the 90th minute, 94th minute of that game to win that game 2-1. Okay, the final game is Monaco. Benfica going away to France to win Monaco 1-0.
As predicted, man. As predicted. Yes, for all the talk about AS Monaco, for all the talk about the team, for all the talk about the players, for all the talk about the skill, how markets. Straight up, that's Benfica for you. I keep saying it here that these guys have one of the most potent strikers in Europe right now, Vangelos Pavlidis, and he was the man yet again on the score sheet to pull this one out of the fire. No attack from AS Monaco, no threat whatsoever. So let it just be as it is.
No, so how do you see that game? Because Monaco took a red card and it became tough for them in the second half. They considered in almost after the restart, and they got a red card just after the restart, and it's going to be a tough task for them to
The
now.
game was flat and boring in the first half. I almost slept off where I was watching that game, but I was focused on the Liverpool game because it was playing at the same time. Then when the Liverpool went to halftime, it was just Monaco, and I think I was seeing when Monaco and Bayern Munich play, and I'm like, okay, fine, this is interesting. Bayern Munich was trying to attack, and it was still 0-0 at the break, and I'm like, okay, fine, this is interesting. I could go with this game, but at some point, the Bayern Munich game was boring, the Monaco game was boring, and the second half, the restart started, and we went back to the Liverpool game, and this happened, and I'm like, bro, how did you allow that? How do you stand on a player and all of a sudden he is missing on you? How do you? Which means I give credit to these guys positioning. I keep saying it. Strikers who position well. You don't need to camp. Sometimes you need to make runs for the ball to connect with you. For the player who has the pass to connect well with you. You need to make some certain runs. Sometimes those runs are for your benefit. Sometimes it's for the player behind you.
Yes.
And those runs for him in that game the pass kind of located him well and good, and the player that was supposed to be defending against him was nowhere to be found. Okay. And he got that goal, and after that, I don't know what got in the other guy's head, and he got a red card, and Monaco just kind of were playing in the midfield. Going forward, whenever they get into the final third, they lose the ball, they come back, they defend, they get the ball back, and they try to attack again. It became a problem for them because they couldn't create anything in the position's final third.
Okay, that game ended 1-0. So they are going to play the next leg. Let's see what happens in the next. All the next leg of this Champions League is happening Tuesday and Wednesday next week. So it's back-to-back football. Every week they are giving us back-to-back games: the Premier League, Champions League, Europa League, Premier League, Champions League, Europa League, FA Cup. We go to collect them.
Copa del Rey.
So it's this from now till, apart from the international break they have around, I think March.
Yeah.
As around March. Apart from that, it's going to be club football till the end of the season. Okay, that's all for the Champions League. So good luck to all the teams that have won, the teams that are due. Next week they will find out who will actually qualify in the next round of the Champions League, especially Manchester City when they go to Real Madrid next week on Wednesday, to see who will qualify from that encounter. I think that's what particular game everybody is looking forward to next week. So let's see if Man City can turn it around, but it's going to be very difficult. But it's possible. It's football. Everything is possible. Okay, let's move on to the big one, the Premier League. It happened yesterday. It's Merseyside Derby. Happened yesterday. It was a cool encounter. Everton scored first. Then Salah got an assist and a goal to make it 2-1. Then in the final minute, Everton scored to make it 2-2. And after the game, everybody started fighting. Slot got a red card. Jones got a red card. Dakore got a red card. Everybody was getting yellow cards and red cards everywhere. But if you look at that game, John, well, let's start with you now. So it was an interesting game, truthfully.
Oh, it was a good game. I said it here. I want Moyes to win, but I will always want Liverpool to win because of the people behind us. Those London team, they're just making noise this time, and they are happy about the draw. But I just felt like this game for Liverpool, the goal, the guy before, I think the guy who picked up the pass was offside, but it was given because that was what they were checking on, and it was given for that he was onside. I think that was Ashley Young. He was given that he was onside, and going forward, Takwaski's goal was just.
I think the condition of that goal, if he touched Kanute last. But the VAR said that he touched him last. That's why he wasn't given as an offside. That's why that goal stood, and why they make it. But if you look at Salah has been scoring goals, and a goal and assist. I think he's going to win the Golden Boot this season.
For me, Salah has been on form, performance, everything. It was there yesterday. I think for Liverpool's first game, what's his name now, Jordan Pickford deserves 12 strokes of the cane because he was sleeping on duty for McAllister's first goal, because he was beaten in his near post, and we know that's one of those golden rules in football that goalkeepers should strive not to be beaten in the near post. If you watch
It was
that,
a good header.
it was a good header, no doubt, but Baba was ball watching. You understand? Now
How many times?
he bailed himself out of that conundrum by stopping Salah's second, because Salah's second was pure bound for goal and he saved that one. And so on that one he gets a free pass. But Salah has been on great form, scoring in this encounter. I think the commentator said it was 27 or 29 so far this season.
27 goals in
Yeah.
the Premier League, 22nd goal, which is fantastic.
Fantastic so far, if you ask me. I think it's not just Premier League,
No,
because
it was
The Premier League
the
is
Premier
22
League.
goals, 22
yes,
goals in the
but
Premier
in
League.
all 27 goals. So good performance for him. And for the encounter, like I said, Liverpool are owing us points, and I'm happy to collect straight up.
They
This
drop
one
now.
1 point. This
Yeah,
1 point that
they are
Liverpool
dropping.
keep.
They are now 7 points above,
Isn't
ahead
it?
of Arsenal.
Liverpool is dropping the point. Are you picking the point?
That's the problem.
If they are dropping and you are dropping, everybody is dropping. It's like going to the stream to fetch water with basket. So Liverpool is dropping points. Arsenal is picking up the points. Man City, on the other hand, are not picking up the points. Nottingham Forest, they pick up the drop off back. They share back to the other people. Chelsea, for the life of me, is not picking up the points. So nobody's picking up the points. So it's like all of us are just dropping points. You are waiting for West Ham to come and pick the points.
You can't even dream of
I'm coming
picking
there.
the
I'm
point,
coming
but
there
you
very
are
soon.
bound for relegation.
I'm coming there very soon to come
Yeah,
and pick up
yeah,
the points.
the
Are you
number
waiting
you
for
have
Tottenham
done.
Hotspur? You're not waiting for Tottenham Hotspur to pick up the points. They are battling the relegation. Mind it is
The
off
good
the question.
thing about all this encounter is that the gap still remains. Like
7 points.
we're saying it that yes,
If it had gone to 9, it would have been a
we're
problem.
saying it that it's 7 points. They have a game in hand. I kept saying it
It's
that
6
it's
points
not
the
a
game
shoo-in. It's not a shoo-in until that game is played. It's not a shoo-in. You don't count
They didn't
before it
still lose
happens.
it now.
I know, but I
Eh.
keep saying it for a reason, because we've seen twice now. Arsenal had 5 games in hand. Yes, we win those games in hand. Baba drew the straight 5 one season and dropped out of contention for the Premier League. And then again this season now, with reports also from Doha that this guy has picked up an injury. So
we go talk
it's
about that.
crazy,
We'll
man.
talk about that. But if you look at that game in general, I think that Everton did well. I think that Moyes is actually
Of course,
doing well
of course.
with this particular team. They are going to probably maybe get something. Probably, we said, I think the day before yesterday that Everton will start investing. They have not really invested in the
In
last
summer.
5 years.
Yes.
So probably will start investing. Probably Moyes can turn his whole team around. Maybe.
Let's not forget that in this same encounter, Tarkowski had an initial goal ruled off, right?
Yes.
So that's 3 scored on the night by Everton as against Liverpool's 2. So it could have gone anyway, man. And I was rooting for Everton yesterday because, this is what you love to see. You see a club legend coming back in a managerial position to take the team out of the dark ages, at least into the light first and foremost. You still have the shroud of PSR over the club, because I still strongly feel that clubs who go through takeover should be given at least a PSR hiatus, which means for like 2 years, restructure, set the club right, then you come back and abide by PSR, because otherwise there's no way of bridging the gap between the top 6 and other teams in the Premier League. Let's not even look at other places in Europe where the difference between the top 2 or top 3 is light and day.
No, the thing is, they're not telling them to sell. You're just saying that it's just a common rule. You can't invest now and start spending heavy. Now, if you look at, you don't get what I'm
saying. You buy a club like Everton, you should at least get a green card from the FA, not to be forced to abide by
They didn't buy in the
PSR.
summer.
That's why you don't get what I'm saying, man. Listen, man. I said when you buy a club, you should get a green card from the FA to allow you invest in that club.
That's
Otherwise,
wait till the summer.
no, it's not about waiting the summer.
You can't,
because
I think they took over
because if you buy the club and you start making expenses that season or whenever you start making expenses, you still have to abide by PSR. So you cannot improve your squad without flouting PSR.
Godwin.
But there should be that allowance for clubs to have at least a green pass from the FA
Newcastle,
to break that
I'll give you
PSR and invest in the team infrastructure and
I'll
otherwise.
give you an example. Newcastle, they waited till the summer. They took over to happen before.
Bro, it's not about waiting
You
to
wait
the
till the
summer.
summer.
They still have to abide by PSR that season too.
Newcastle, you wait till the summer to do business. West Ham United had a new investor from Croatia. They waited till the summer to do business. What's it called now? These guys are having new investors, and the deal kind of closed after the transfer window has closed. If you look at Chelsea also, they waited till the summer.
I'll ask you one question, man. Did they still have to abide by PSR in
You
this
work
season?
with the amount you have.
Did they still have to abide by PSR in that season?
You can't always come in and say because you're a new investor you want to overspend.
Bro,
You
that's
can't always overspend.
Bro,
Chelsea,
man,
okay,
bro.
what did Chelsea abide by PSR by buying 75 players because they had to wait till the summer. He didn't come in immediately and bought players. But Bully waited till the summer and he bought 1,000 players. He didn't abide by PSR.
After he abided by PSR because he spread those contracts over 9 years, and and immediately that happened, they went and amended the rules to stop that from happening. So all I'm saying is, when you take over a club, there should be a leeway, a wiggle room. It's like telling me you want to start up a business and you have to start paying tax immediately. But you just start business, man. You get, even in Nigeria where we are a lot of things right now, you still have 1 year before you start paying your tax if you start a business today. And that's what I'm saying, man.
Okay, if you look at Liverpool in this title race, that they are 7 points ahead of Arsenal. Arsenal is somewhere in Saudi Arabia enjoying themselves. Not enjoying themselves, they are training. They are back playing Premier League this weekend, but they took 1 week to go to Saudi. It worked for them last season.
Yes.
They went to Saudi and came back and started winning games.
Yes.
No,
So
they now went this year. And 2 players picked up injury.
So if you look at this Liverpool side, do you think that they can maintain, because they are not losing games, but they are drawing a whole lot of games now.
Yeah.
So do you think that Arsenal can pull up a surprise, or Liverpool can continue with their trend of winning, winning, and somehow win this league?
There's just a chorus that comes to mind whenever we talk about Arsenal. Nothing they shock me again, nothing they fear me. Because right now, it's glaring. It was glaring before the end of the transfer window. Even the blind could have seen it. I was shouting it from the tops of the heavenlies. And, Arteta played mute and deaf in this scenario. Glaringly, you have the consequences. You reap what you sow. Straight up, man.
Talking about
season over, done and dusted, man.
Talking about Arsenal,
till next season.
Talking about Arsenal, the rumors is that Havertz is injured till the end of the season. That means Arsenal has no striker. That means they don't have Jesus and Havertz till the end of the season.
Jesus is out. Even Martinelli is injured, man.
Martinelli is about maybe 3 weeks out. Then you have Saka that is still not seen enough. He's back into training, but you can see the sky in his hamstring. He did a surgery in that hamstring. That means all these top players are not in for Arsenal in this run for this title. They are trying to challenge Liverpool, and everybody was seeing it. Even the blind could see, as John said, that they needed a striker. Jesus was injured before the transfer windows closed. This one, if he was,
that's the most triggering fact.
If it happened like Havertz, or you could say, okay, both of them were available, but they picked up injury after the transfer. But Jesus was out of the season. It was obvious.
You know the most triggering thing. You know the most triggering thing for the average Arsenal fan out there. They waited till the last day of the transfer window to drop a paltry £40 million for a player they were never really looking forward to get, just to make sure that at least the fans will not say, "Una no bid for anybody." Man, it's all about optics, and it's annoying, for crying out loud. Because now, the good part of all these things is that I get to sit back, relax, take something light, and then watch this season capitulate for them, because they've said themselves. And Arteta, there are certain people that will never learn until they go through life-threatening scenarios. And I hope Arteta enjoys this ride from now to the end of the summer. I hope he finishes 6th.
So what do you think about this plan? This is a post-score plan. If you look at, they are trying to challenge Liverpool. They are 7 points. They don't have any striker. Now you have to play Sterling. That's the only option they have now. Sterling and Trossard. That's how you're going to play. So if you look at what Arsenal is trying to, what they are doing, it doesn't make sense for Arsenal fans, for everybody, even for neutrals.
For Arsenal fans, it doesn't make sense. For some neutrals, it doesn't make sense. But tacticians, we understand the tactics. We understand what Arteta is trying to do. No, I don't want to sound like
as wannabe tactician.
No, it's not wannabe tactician.
As aspiring tactician.
It's not wannabe. I don't want to
make
it look like a joke right now. It's not a joke.
Let's hear you out.
For me, I just feel like you guys are not seeing the bigger picture. You guys are not seeing the fact that Arsenal just went through a dude dropping out. Kroenke, was his name, the CEO, the board chairman, is saying there's no enough funds. in the bank.
Where you hear that one, please? Who tell you
Calm
that
down.
one?
We have inside source.
Because
calm.
I am sure Arsenal still have hybrid pumping in money into that club as a hotel, and you can't tell me there's no money, man. You can't
Real
tell me
Madrid
there's
have
no
money
money.
pumping in from the other side.
You
And
can't
yes, they
tell
are
me
looking
there's
for
no money.
Real Madrid have players pumping in from the other side. And yes,
That's
they
their
are looking for
transfer strategy,
and yes, they are
man.
looking for
That's
free,
their transfer strategy.
free players.
That's
It's
their
just the way it
transfer
works, and
strategy.
it has been working. So this man is telling you now that there is no money to spend on every player. So
Says who, man?
to spend big. Maybe you're seeing a different picture. I'm seeing a different picture, and now Eddie is out of the job. This man, I said it before. This man will have to wait, see the squad. They wait till the summer to get players in that will work with him and Ateta. Not just
that mentality is why Arsenal will never win the Premier League in the next 2 years.
Now, if Edu has been on the job during this winter transfer window, it would have been a different case that Edu did not do the right job. But they changed management. They changed what's it called, head of recruitment.
Like they say, an excuse giver will always give an excuse. An action taker will always take the action.
Now,
and I want to also add it that sometimes you give people
will Ateta buy a striker from his pocket?
Sometimes you give people tax and they come back and tell you, I did all I can. Do what it takes, not all you can. Do what it takes. That's what Arsenal fans were expecting from Ateta this season, and they have not gotten it. Now let me give you the shocker. The shocker is the two young boys who could have played in this position for Arsenal from the academy setup were actually sold to Manchester United over the course of this season. Now look at that. You also have another striker in the fold that was sold off as well in the summer. Now look at that. You see the consequences of Ateta's poor planning come back to bite him, and I'm here to watch it, man.
I don't know what to say. I keep telling you, I don't know how to say, but I know I'm telling you from a tactical stand view, from a tactical point, it's going to work out for Arsenal.
We shall see.
Trossard can play as a 9. There are players on the bench that could play. I don't know if you keep stealing my thunder, you keep shouting, I'll continue to lose my words. I'm a tactician. You get? I could make even a crippled person play as an Arsenal number 9 and still get numbers.
Wow.
You get? I could make anybody play in the Arsenal setup and still
How
get numbers.
come you haven't made your team play your strikers available in your team score goals, man?
They are not available right now. I can't trust Danny Ings.
Okay.
You get? And when I call the new management, I'll tell him to sell Danny Ings in the summer. Don't worry about that. But I'm just saying, for me, Arsenal, now we have to see a Moreno play more. You get? Play as a false 9. When City won the league, they didn't have a 0.9. There was no striker. It was a false 9 they were playing. Ateta wants to build a team with the false 9, then perhaps get into the way you want to compete. Then maybe when he tries to win something with the false or without the top 9, with the false 9 position, win something. Maybe the FA Cup in this season, or okay, FA Cup is good. Maybe the Champions League this season.
What has he been doing the past 2 seasons without an out-and-out striker, finishing second place?
Now he wants to win the Champions League maybe without a striker, so he can prove a point. Then get a striker to win maybe a treble the next season, but we have to wait till the end of the season.
I think it's generally a poor planning for Arsenal. Not planning what they started this season with 2 strikers in quotes. That means Jesus and Havertz. And Havertz and Jesus was injured in January, so they had a whole lot of time to plan that. So they looked at it. Somehow they decided not to bring in, because truthfully, Havertz is a player that really does get injured. He's the player that played 2-3 years without actually probably you miss maybe 2 or 3 weeks in a whole season. So probably we are banking on it, and Arsenal happened to him. So probably we don't know. We have not heard the full
story. Moreno too the same thing. It keeps Arsenal happened to him.
If Arteta does his press conference tomorrow, then we'll hear his side of the story. If truthfully, because it's still we just saw it on yesterday, and everybody was tweeting about it that Havertz is injured to the end of the season. So Arteta have to manage his squad. I have to promote a young boy from the under 21 to play for him, but I don't know how he's going to manage it. But Arsenal is chasing Liverpool, and Liverpool are 7 points ahead of them. Will they find a way to turn this thing around? It's going to be a miracle for them to do, but let's see if it's going to happen. Okay, let's do one more comment on our YouTube. Remember, guys, we are live on YouTube at Vote FM Sports, and Judah Onunkwo is saying, so thank you for your kind words. Even though I don't trust you, John, calm down. Arsenal matter, they pepper you. Yeah, I think John has a spot for Arsenal. I don't know.
Ateta is just pig-headed, man. Straight up, just pig-headed.
You don't listen. If you come for every other person problem, John they always raise his voice to the high. Man United, Arsenal, Chelsea. If you not reach Man City losing match, you hear John say it is what it is. It is what it is. I trust my coach. We've been trusting the coach and the system, and it's been failing. but other teams will keep raising our voice. Can
It's
we
been
just
failing, but we are 4 in a row, man.
You are 4 in a row.
It's been failing, but we are
that's the
4
point.
in a row.
That's the point
Straight
of
up.
winning. That's the point of winning the debate.
Straight
When we
up,
talk about
man.
City and how they have been failing, the next thing here is 4 in a row.
Bro, we've been failing, but we are 4 in a row, loud and proud, in your face. In your face, man.
Repeat of
In
the
your
Champions
face.
League.
In your face.
A team did repeat of the Champions
Now
League.
their own
back
be that
to
one.
back
Now
to
their
back.
own be
And
that
if you
one.
see them,
Now
they
their
are
own be that
quiet.
one. Obasa, them, my own is we are 4 in a row.
And they are
Hide your
quiet.
face. Simple.
Okay, let's
Oh.
move, let's move away from England and move to the Europa League. Yeah, the players of the Europa League are happening today. I'll give you the features and just give us the prediction of who you think will go to the next round. As Union St. Gillios versus Ajax, Midtjylland versus. Okay, who wins in that game first?
The Belgium side. Union.
Ajax.
Union. I don't trust Ajax. Union.
Okay, Midtjylland versus Real Sociedad.
Sociedad
to win. No, so who wins?
Sociedad, please.
Okay, Fenerbahce is playing Anderlecht. That Jose Mourinho's team
tough
is playing.
game. I'm
Yes.
backing.
Yeah, I'm backing Jose. I'm backing Mourinho, please.
Back anything. Me, I'm backing Bright Osai. Samuel Bright Osai.
We have a Nigerian
as
there.
a right back for Fenerbahce. So he's starting, he's playing, he's shutting down that position. I'm backing him. Anything you like, say.
Okay, Ferencváros versus Victoria Pleasant. Who wins?
Victoria, please.
None of the above.
None of the
Victoria
above.
Pleasant.
Okay,
Victoria.
our own Osimhen is playing today. AZ Akma is playing Galatasaray in that game today. Who wins? We are going to back Osimhen to come on. Everybody is backing Osimhen to win this game.
What if I say it's a draw?
Well, this is first place. This is first place. They are still going to play second.
They'll qualify.
They will qualify. Okay, Porto is playing Roma today. Got a tough game, big game today.
Tough game. I'm backing Porto.
I'm backing Roma.
Backing
my
Roma.
man.
Okay, 20 and Bodo and Glint. Who wins?
20.
Bodo and Glint.
Okay, Poak versus FC SB. Who wins?
None of the above.
None of the above.
Bucharest.
Bucharest is
FCMB.
Okay, let's see who the playoffs of the Europa League today is happening at 9 p.m. and 8:45 today. So we can sit down and enjoy. It's not like the Champions League though. It's like a small Champions League, but let's see. But the Champions happen Tuesday and Wednesday, and we all enjoyed football at the finest. Okay. Let's move on to phone calls. Let's take phone calls and get your thoughts, especially about this Arsenal not planning well in the January transfer window, or in the summer, or if you have a thought in the Champions League that happened yesterday, you can call. The number to call is 0706 048 5853, or you can alternatively call 0915 570 8347. Call us and tell us what you think about especially this Arsenal. Imagine losing the two strikers.
Godwin, there's something you glossed over right now, and I'm just trying to, you forgot about Champions League in Domuaka.
Or Conference League, they are playing today.
Because somebody else will be shouting, I conquer Europe.
Okay, let's take the first phone call. Yeah, hello, good morning. Good morning. Name and location, please.
Good morning.
Okay, what is your contribution?
I want to understand what Liverpool means by Arteta winning the Champions League with a fourth line.
Thank you.
The Lulu is now the new Lulu, like they play on social media.
The Lulu
and Arsenal will be dumped out of the Champions League once the next phase kicks off. And then, good derby game between Liverpool and Everton yesterday. It was a 5-1. It reminds me of back in the day when the Premier League derby matches used to be really competitive between local teams, you understand? All around, good game of football yesterday. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. It was a good game of the Premier League. Truthfully, it was a good game. I saw that game. I was paying attention to that game than the Champions League. It was actually an interesting game. They were fighting.
That was in my heart, my soul, my eyes on that game was glued to the game. I actually went to the Champions League because it was Bayern Munich and all of those people. I actually switched to them. But my attention was in the Liverpool game. That was in my mind.
Yeah, hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. My name is Abayomi from Enugu.
Okay, Abayomi, what is your contribution? Good morning.
Good morning, my brother. With regards to yesterday's match, Everton and Liverpool that is baby.
Yes.
I believe that what at the better play because no matter the form Everton is, that then there's always a difficult factor, especially now that he has come back to that place where he is very, very familiar with.
Yeah.
And I believe that he's going to do a very good thing there. And you know, he was the one that Everton to Champions League the
Of
last
course.
time. I think it was have some couple of years ago. And which he's trying to replicate now, just to bring them to the top 10, which the position they will always not even for not the one they're fighting for relegation. So, and Liverpool with their notwithstanding, now despite their lose, they know they're going to take the league. And with Arsenal with the injury crisis in that particular squad, that particular team, I don't think they will be able to compete for the title this season. Probably they should leave next season because the management and the coach, they failed to bring in new players in this January transfer window. So that is it. So I believe Liverpool is going to take the league. They're already not despite the 7-point gap, but still they'll still take it.
Okay.
That's all I have to say.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, that Liverpool, it was an interesting game. It remains for me, all of them, made stop ball, make them begin fight. So we will not see a fight to come fight for this game.
I think the incident at the end of that game was a result of Curtis Jones holding into himself that I have a yellow card. If I retaliate now, it's going to be a problem. Then after the final whistle, he went to retaliate. And there was a problem. You take out a Conor Bradley who is on yellow card and you bring in the Curtis Jones, and after his second touch, he picks up a card.
Okay.
It tells about the mentality of the side. It tells about the discipline of the side.
Yeah, hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Name and location, please.
This morning, dinner.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Where are you calling from?
Peter Scholar, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
What's your contribution?
I want to give Arsenal advice. Arsenal fans advice. Maybe relax, because they're going to carry me off.
I will surprise you this season.
Maybe just which season? Even
This season, the Champions League is coming home. The Champions League is coming home
Coming home for who?
to London.
It's not coming to London, sir. Let me tell you.
It's coming to London.
Yes. Arsenal, maybe just relax. You know?
All right.
Because they have already lost the opportunity.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right.
All right, thank you for that. Okay, let's see if Arsenal is going to. Probably everything can happen in football, but how can you do that without two strikers? How? Not two strikers. How can you do that without a striker? Not even
Without a striker, you see the most telling fact about this season, right? Go back, look at last season, look at the numbers for last season, look at the numbers for Martinelli, Trossard, and Havertz
Saka.
up front, and Saka. And then you come and look at this season's numbers, bro. It's way off.
It's way off. True.
It's way
All
off,
of them
man.
were doing 10 plus last
Yes.
season. All of them did 10 plus.
Yes.
Even though they can do 10 plus. Okay, let's see what happens with them. Yeah, hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Name and location, please.
It's Prince O, the Arsenal guy.
Okay, Prince O, the Arsenal guy. Okay, what do you think? What's your
I don't
contribution?
know why you are crying more than the three.
Omo,
You are hopeful of Man City. That had the top striker and everything. Where are you? If the league closes today, that is not going to even the conference league. So now, let's go to Arsenal.
Okay, Arsenal. Okay.
We don't buy players just for buying sake.
Thank you.
It's true. I said I wanted to buy players. I tried at January. Isak is not for sale. Forget about what they are doing. Oluwaseun is not for sale. Jokeres is not for sale.
Yes.
Who are you going to buy? Are you just going to go to the market? Throw away money.
Pavlidis was available.
thank you.
Who was available?
Pavlidis, the Benfica striker, was available.
Can he suit our style?
Oh boy. Did you see him against Barcelona? Did you see him against
If
Barcelona?
that one, nobody knows Pavlidis last season.
It's not, but see,
See.
the thing is, we keep
Oh
going
my
back to who they
goodness.
know.
Hello, yes,
We're
continue.
continuing. I want to ask another question.
Let us watch Isak. Let us watch Isak and see Isak is a one-season wonder. Let us watch Isak.
Okay.
So, forget about Arsenal. Arsenal never depended on a striker. We have guys that can do the job.
I will see you in
These
fifth.
are just, but just win.
I will see you in
We are going
fifth.
to go down. We
Okay.
are not going down.
All
We are
right.
going to fight to the end with Liverpool.
All
Have a
right.
nice day, guys.
I will see you in fifth position.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
See, people keep asking.
I'll finish above you this season.
People keep asking the question, who know this guy? Who know this guy? Who know this guy?
Like, for crying out loud, man.
This guy that played for Man United, Makeda, who know him when they were beating Arsenal
Yes.
8-0? Who know him?
When they signed Bebe from where they signed him from, who know him?
Let's go back to the Arsenal side. Apart from, there was a young man then that was still trying to make his way into Turin. He was trying to make his way, and Arsene Wenger saw him and said, I want that guy. And he went for him. Who knew him? He became a club legend. Thierry,
Yes.
who knew him? So let's not completely say, and we keep calling names of people that have won a one season wonder.
The problem with Arsenal cannot buy an unknown player at this level. So you cannot go
At
and buy
which
an
level?
You have a once in a lifetime opportunity to close the gap on Liverpool, win the league.
To close the gap on Man City, not even Liverpool. To close the gap on Man City.
This season, man, once in a lifetime opportunity, never coming back again. And we keep hoping on next season that we never come.
We keep going back to the circle of who they market, who they available, which
Thank
big name.
you.
It's not about the big name. This guy in Ipswich Town, what's his name? He's doing well.
They have the lap, man.
The lap is doing well.
You have Evan Ferguson.
Look at Man United under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer or under Ten Hag. You were looking for a striker. They didn't get a striker. They went to get a Weghorst.
Straight up.
Weghorst got at least, in all competition, he got at least 10 to 15 goals.
They got an Igalo. Let's not
At
go
some
there,
point, he
man.
went on to
Don't
get an
play.
Igalo. Who know Igalo at the
Don't
point?
play, man.
He played for Watford. He played for a small team. Look at Newcastle. We're saying Newcastle, Isak. Do you know Newcastle has a Callum Wilson?
Yes.
Callum Wilson has backup. And Callum Wilson gets at least 10 goals. Who knows Callum? He played for a relegation team at some point. So we keep going back to the numbers or the players that it's not about being a star player before we get you.
Okay,
You need to have proven something somewhere.
Let's take this phone call. Let's not argue about Arsenal too much. Yeah, hello, good morning.
Good morning, also good morning, John.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Good morning, my brother.
Good morning. Name and location, please.
This is an additional contract.
Welcome.
Okay, what is your contribution?
My brother, let me say the reality. You don't need to tell ourselves a lie.
Mm-hmm.
Thank
I
you.
want to let you people come back to something, to remind something. You remember Champions League 2006?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Go to today, don't let Arsenal name to read down in Champions League Cup as to lead that cup up.
Mm.
It's because of goalkeeper.
Yes.
Thank
And
you.
because of the selfishness of the board and their finger. Get to goalkeeper, you are using one keeper.
Almunia.
That keeper that time.
Okay, Lema.
Lemon, yes.
Are you understand me?
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
That to cause a very blood wonder trouble to Arsenal to give that keeper record to out. Then move Perez, and that was left Perez leave Arsenal. Move the keeper to replace no keeper. If I put a player there to be a keeper, where the keeper clause. Are you understand me?
Yeah.
And that's why Arsenal lost against Barcelona. Upon what play 10 against 11, he still get first goal. Campbell, our defender, scored the first goal by through the corner kick. Are you understand me?
Yeah.
Barcelona go away with the match with 2-1, then carry that cup that year. It matter that they record whatever. That thing deny Arsenal name to be a Champions League till today. Let me tell you something. Arsenal that train Atata. Barcelona train Atata. He's stubborn. If you need a player, not on the time you are doing that many because you can get what you need. You need a player, you know. Tell me how you want to survive this league and the Champions League. And this is the time of Champions League. Danger. And what you do to me, I will do it for you, but this is the time.
Yeah.
So I want to do it. He sell our player. We can replace Gabriel Jesus. He sell it to other Crystal Palace or
Thank
whatever.
you.
That boy, that young boy.
Thank you.
Ekata, what you be?
Nketia, yes.
Eddie Nketiah.
Yeah, he sell it. Where that boy can cover that side. My brother.
All right.
It's only good. John, you
Yes.
know, I like you for one thing. We come to reality, honestly. Don't forget, no need to pretend, no need to paint something. If it's sick, let us say it.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you very much.
Now.
All right.
Really think that's not it now.
Yeah.
That's because at least God will let us survive.
All right, thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. Arsenal needs to fix up. Let's see how they are going to manage this crisis till the end of the season. Martinelli, Saka, everybody is out. Jesus and Havertz, they are all their top strikers are out. But let's see if they are going to manage this and challenge for the Champions League and the Premier League. Let's hope they do. Okay, let's finish with our YouTube. Justice, welcome to the show. Say good morning, guys. Welcome. Okay, well done, Nonso, with the Barcelona jersey. Okay, and Athletic Obi is saying, Arsenal una go continue to manage money till Jesus comes. Like, I don't know what they are managing money. Okay, this is how we're going to end today's show. Thank you for joining us. Tomorrow I'll come back here again to talk sports. We bring out some of this banter everywhere. John and also they are trying to banter our callers. We are having fun here. Tomorrow we'll come back to have more fun. And remember, Chelsea are playing tomorrow in the first game of the Premier League. So tomorrow we are back here talking about the Premier League and the games happening that happened already in the Europa League. So we'll come back here tomorrow for another edition of this beautiful Vote Sports argument. Anything you want to call it, discussion, anything you want to call it. Thank you for joining us today show. My name is Godwin, signing out. See you tomorrow.
Hello, Enugu, and welcome to Volt 104.3 FM, where music leads the voltage.
I'm trying to play. I still want to pop inside my closing
News and politics.
Bro, man,
It's
annoying that they go dey talk say who dey market.
One
Can't
thousand
be
people
stopped
market.
down. You don't want me.
They don't be star players, but they're not just be quiet. You go Spain, you go Germany, you go Italy. I don't know because they ask like after they work for Premier League and if you go Italy. So I go cancel please. Go Germany, go Spain. Come down to Belgium.
Awesome programs.
Go down to Belgium.
Hey,
You go
man,
see,
bro.
for that Belgium league, go see at least 15,000 players. If you come
Hey,
and
man.
bench this week.
If